Animals are usually something to be avoided, as they can be amazingly unpredictable and dangerous if they feel threatened. Today, however, we're focusing on all the good they can do with a breakdown of 10 wild animals that saved human lives. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all of our latest and most exciting content. Lions foil kidnapping. When a girl was kidnapped in Ethiopia, her attackers decided to take her where they thought was totally out of sight. They held her for a week and were intent on marrying her to one of the men in the group. They also beat and assaulted her viciously, showing no signs of remorse. They were forced to let the girl go, however, when a pride of lions showed up out of the blue and chased the men off. They then circled the girl, protecting her from any further harm for a full day and a half before the police finally found her. Bruised, but thankfully still alive, the lions let the girl limp over to the police without bothering her at all, and simply walked away when they saw that she was safe. We're hoping they chased down her attackers and gave them a taste of their own medicine, just for good measure. Sea lions prevent suicide. The Golden Gate Bridge has long been a hotspot for people trying to commit suicide by jumping off of it, and most of the people who take the plunge don't survive once they hit the water. Kevin Hines, a troubled 19-year-old, would have lost his life for sure when he jumped from the bridge in September of 2006. But a surprise visitor wasn't going to let that happen on their watch. When Kevin hit the water, he immediately broke his back and shattered his vertebrae into countless pieces with the force of the impact. That being so, he wasn't able to do much but wait to drown while in excruciating pain. He had just begun to sink below the surface when he felt something brush against his legs, and before he knew what was happening, he was pushed back to the surface by a sea lion who refused to let his head go under. It kept this up until authorities were able to reach him and pull him out of the water, allowing his savior to swim off with the satisfaction of a job well done. Beavers save freezing kid. When a boy in Ontario went camping, he never expected that he'd finish the trip in a fight for his life with an unexpected new friend to help him find the will to survive. His parents went out fishing on the lake, but after a short period of time, he watched in horror as the boat capsized, trapping them underneath as it slowly sank to the bottom. They weren't able to make it back to shore and drowned right in front of him. Not knowing what else to do, the boy tore back towards town as fast as he could to get help. He didn't make it all that far before the sun set and darkness fell. It became too cold for the child, who was already exhausted from running at top speed for so long. As he became too cold to move, sure he was going to die, he felt something press up against him. He had no idea what it was and lost consciousness before he could check, awakening in the morning to find that a group of beavers had encircled him entirely while he slept, keeping him alive while the temperature dropped well below freezing. Elephant protects child. An 8-year-old girl found herself in dire straits when she was caught unawares by the 2004 tsunami in Thailand. She had no way of escaping the sudden torrent of water and was almost swept away, never to be seen again, when an elephant running past her managed to stop just long enough to pick her up with its trunk and deposit her on its back. It then ran to higher ground, keeping her away from the violent rush of water and making sure she didn't fall off at any point. When it was hit with a large wave, it even turned to brace her from being hit, saving her life in epic fashion. The elephant was able to make it to safety with the girl still placed on its back, and her parents were overjoyed when they saw the pair running towards them. Talk about a close call. Dolphins fight off shark. A surfer in Monterey, California was left fighting hopelessly for his life when a massive great white shark emerged from the depths out of nowhere, attacking him with absolutely no remorse. It had swum around him again and again to bite him 3 times and had already sliced him to the bone on his leg and back. He would have been a goner if it wasn't for a chance encounter with a pod of dolphins who recognized the fact that he was in distress and in need of serious help. The dolphins surrounded the man while simultaneously fighting off the shark, pushing the surfer back to shore slowly but surely. They took off when the man was safely back on shore, and he was immediately rushed to the hospital, barely getting out of his ordeal alive. Dolphins save fishermen. Dolphins really seem to have a soft spot for humans, and they've saved plenty of people in the past. Another person who was saved by a soft-hearted group of dolphins had found himself in serious trouble when he went out fishing for the day in Puerto Rico. He had gone offshore to fish for tuna, but a surprise squall capsized the guy's boat, and left him struggling to survive by clinging to a piece of styrofoam, which was the only thing that didn't sink around him. He held on all day, but was near the end of his rope by the time the sun set, and he was sure he wasn't going to make it back to shore. He couldn't move the styrofoam at all on his own, and he was being swept out to sea when a large pod of dolphins appeared just in time. They pushed him all the way to shore and dropped him off at a beach, barely alive, but thankful that he had a group of new friends to look out for him. Brave seal battles shark. Seals are usually food for sharks and ordinarily stand no chance against the fierce predators at the top of the oceanic food chain. There's at least one seal, however, who decided enough was enough and took the fight straight to the sharks, winning above all odds. This all went down off the coast of Cape Town when a tourist was attacked by a shark, ending up unable to help himself after his leg was torn into pieces. Another two people watching from shore had begun to swim out to rescue him, unable to sit idly by while he was attacked. They were all in trouble until a seal appeared out of nowhere and began circling the three men, fending off the shark each time it tried to attack one of them. It stuck around until the shark finally left the area, allowing the rescuers to reach